Good evening, everyone. My name is Sushma and I'm from Atria Institute of Technology. My trainer is Ashok sir. I'm going to talk about prefab structures. The contents are introduction, features, design concept, manufacturing process, types of precast system, advantages, limitations, scheduling, and conclusion. Introduction. The concept of precast structure, or also known as prefabricated or modular structure, it consists of a factory-made components or units that are transported and assembled on site to form a complete building. The components are manufactured by industrial methods based on a production in order to build a large number of buildings in short time and at a low cost. The features, the division and the simplification of human workforce, a great dimensional accuracy and finishes, better quality critical elements, design flexibility. Usually, the tools or the machineries used are automated and those parts can be interchangeable. Compared to the side cast concrete, precast concrete erection is faster and less affected by weather conditions. Plant casting allows increased efficiency, high quality control, and greater control on finishes. Materials used to manufacture precast structures are concrete, steel, treated wood, aluminium, lightweight elements, ceramic products, etc. Now let me talk about the design concept of a precast concrete buildings. It is based on buildability, economy, standardization of precast component. Precast concrete provides efficiency, versatility, and durability to a wide range of structures. To make the most of precasting, the design and industrialized production process need to be thought through in advance. Manufacture process. Manufacturing of prefabrication will be done in two stages, that is factory prefabrication and site prefabrication. In factory prefabrication, production of components is done throughout the year, and factory prefabrication is restored in a centrally located plant for a manufacture of standardized component on a long form of basis. Site prefabrication, usually it's done near the site as much as possible, and it is carried out in an open space with the locally available labors. The equipments and machineries which are used are of mobile nature, and that means it can be transported easily. Then comes casting process. Precast components are casted with controlled cement concrete in modules of required shape and size. Then vibrators are used to vibrate the concrete to remove any honeycombing inside the component. After complete curing is done, the components are transported through trucks. Then it is erected using cranes, and this erection process requires skilled labors. Then comes the transportation process. It is one of the important process in uh, construction, because the elements which are uh, I mean which are prefabricated, it has to be transported with utmost care. We should take care of the roads, the undulations in the roads, so that it it doesn't harm any of the components. Transportation of prefab elements inside the factory depends on the method of production selected for the manufacture, and it also depends upon the transport availability of transport equipment such as truck, tractor, etc., to suit its load dimension of a member. Care should be taken in negotiating sharp bends, uneven of slushy roads to avoid undesirable stress in elements, and in transport vehicles. Care should be taken at base packing for supporting the elements. Erection and or assembling. First, we need to set a reference line and determine the position of a precast element to be installed. Where it has to be installed, we need to determine it first. Then we have to use the level pads, so that leveling is done, level of the elements is provided. Then we need to check the alignment of element horizontally and vertically. Then we need to keep the installation panels undisturbed for at least 24 hours. Joint casting and sealing is done. Precast concrete structural elements. Uh, in this, it consists of individual elements like walls, floors, and roofs, as well as columns, beams, and stays. Precast concrete elements for walls, floors, and roofs are flat in construction elements with integrated building services. Walls are produced mostly floor to ceiling height. Now, let me talk about precast slab. Precast slabs. Precast slabs are cast in a factory environment and include the following pre-stressed concrete options: hollow core units, double T units, bearing supports for double T slabs. Then precast beams. Beams and beam shells are both used for suspended flooring. Beams are typically used as the ledges for other forms of precast flooring to sit on, but can also be used as a flooring option in their own right. They are generally manufactured to suit each particular situation, and profiles can include T beams, L beams, rectangular beams, U beams, and beam shells. Beams can either reinforced or pre-stressed. Then comes precast column. Precast concrete columns are modular in design in order to made into different heights. Widths are 12-inch, 18-inch, and 24-inch are used. Columns are not structural but can be used as such only after a structural engineer has adopted them to a building. Precast column can be produced as either single story crobble column or a multi story crobble column. Then comes precast wall. Precast walls serve two functions: stability, as walls or boxes surrounding staircase and lift shaft. Walls may be classified as infill or cantilever. Infill walls rely on contiguous composite action with the beam and column frame. Cantilever walls or box act as deep beams to which frame is attached. Then precast stairs. Three options are available for precast stairs: a single precast unit containing all the flights and landings, separate precast flights and landings. Parts are of flights and landings are made in one piece. Then comes types of precast system. There are four types of precast system: large panel systems, frame systems, slab column system with walls, mixed systems. Large panel system refers to a multi-story structure composed of a large wall and floor concrete panels connected in a vertical and horizontal direction so that the wall panels enclose appropriate spaces for rooms within a building. These panels form a box-like structure. Both vertical and horizontal elements uh, are load-bearing and resist gravity load. Wall panels are usually one story high. Horizontal floor and roof panels span either as one way or a two-way slabs when properly joined together. This horizontal elements acts as diaphragms that transfer the lateral loads to the wall. Frame system. Components are usually liner elements. Precast frames can be constructed using either liner elements or spatial beam column sub-assemblies. The beams are seated on a corbels of a pillars, usually with hinged joints. Joints are filled with concrete at the side. However, rigid beam column connections are used in some cases when the continuity of longitudinal reinforcement through the beam column joint needs to be ensured. Lift slab system. Partially precast in plant. Those things are called as pillars. When partially precast on site, these are called as slabs. It is used where one or more high story pillars are used. Up to 30-story high constructions can be done using this system. Special design joints and temporary joints are provided. Slabs are casted on a ground like It is kept one on top of the other, then lifted with cranes with special elevators. Assembling column to column connection. This is how it looks. Beam to column connection, slab, beam to slab joints, wall to slab connection. Advantages: quick erection time, possibility of convention disassembling and moving to another site, low labor intensity, cost efficient, better overall construction quality, easier management of construction sites, and erection can be done where traditional construction practice is not possible or difficult, reduce wastage of materials, ideal fit for simple and complex structures, etc. Limitations: size of the units is limited, joint details are predefined, location of windows openings has a limited variety, site access and storage capacity is also limited, require high quality control, difficult to handle and transport, enable interaction between design phase and production planning. Then comes scheduling. These are some approximate data for installation. Emplacement of a hollow core floor slabs. It can be done 300 meter square per day. Erection of pillars or columns 8 pieces per day. Emplacement of double T slabs 25 pieces per day. Emplacement of beams 15 pieces per day. Emplacement of walls 15 pieces per day. Construction of site and elevator shaft 2 floors per day. Then at the end we come to the conclusion. It reduces the adverse environmental impact on sites. The use of prefabrication and pre-assembly is estimated to have almost doubled in last 15 years. It is almost increased by 86%. Enhance good quality of control of concreting work, reduce the amount of site labor, increase worker safety. The use of precast concrete construction can significantly reduce the amount of construction waste generated on construction sites. Other impediments to prefabrication and pre-assembly are increased transportation difficulties, greater inflexibility, and more advanced procurement requirements. Thank you.